Namaste. I'm Ezechiade. This is the Golden Circle Movement Channel. Today I'd like to discuss birth, life, death, and reincarnation. So, when we are preparing to enter this life, this incarnation, we are consulted with our spirit guide. Our spirit guide takes directives from other higher divine beings and higher beings. So there is a blueprint, a plan, if you were. But what will your role be in it? That is decided just before you reincarnate into this life. So, you choose this body. You choose these parents. You choose the hardships and the opportunities that will face you in your life. So, in this birth, it is a design. Yes, sometimes it sucks. I know my childhood wasn't ideal. I'm not sure if anyone's childhood was ideal. Maybe, somewhere. But on the other hand, here we are, being born into this life. We have a mission to fulfill in this life. Sometimes it's a short mission. Our lives may be taken seemingly too soon. Maybe our mission has a great deal of chronic suffering. Well, there are always two paths in fulfilling our mission. We may follow our intuition, or we may follow our so-called judgment. In following our judgment, we are often incorrect. It may even have great success, wealth, fame, things that are materialistically very attractive. But we find that we are unfulfilled. If we had followed our instinct, we may have been less prosperous, maybe even had more difficulties, but we would have felt more fulfilled, like taking an artistic path versus taking, say, a path of being a lawyer or something more materialistically stable. So, there is death. When and how we die, well, it's not really that well known, and each path leads to other paths. So, there are many possibilities depending on the way we live our life. So, maybe if we are virtuous in our lives, we can find peace in death. Now, once we reach death, we are in the afterlife. Now, the afterlife. What level of the spiritual realm will you attend? Depending on how you lived your life, the choices you made in fulfilling your mission in life, that will determine your understanding and your spiritual elevation or depth, as it were. So, if you had a hell-like existence and you always blamed others, always found excuses, well, it is quite possible that you may go to hell. A hell of your own making, a hell that you have designed to teach you the lessons about forgiveness and a higher purpose. So in this way, we evolve. We live our lives in this materialistic, three-dimensional plane in order to polish our souls to greater brightness. So there is reincarnation. Again, we are back at the birth process. So, in reincarnation, we must consider first the duration of the death cycle. So, as we are in life, then we flow into death, into the same, a similar plane of consciousness as we existed in our lives. In this way, we are still connected, though, to our progeny, those who remain alive in the world, in their life cycle. We are connected to those progeny. And as such, we can influence them positively or negatively, depending upon our spiritual elevation. So, an ancestor who suffered greatly with personal regrets and just all kinds of negativity, like smoking, drinking, drug use, philandering, embezzling, things that imprison us in our karmic cycle, these attachments that draw us back to the earth. So then, as we reach out from the spiritual realm to our progeny, our children, our friends, family, those that we influence because we have strong spiritual cords with them and their bloodline, then they may take on some of our symptoms. They may take on some of our conditions. This is the only way that one can communicate from the spiritual realm, because the first three chakras of the body are associated with the physical form. Once those chakras decay, then all that's left is the emotion. Well, really, the heart, whatever level that was on in life, in the last incarnation, the throat chakra, maybe we can speak in dreams, and the forehead chakra, we have some sense of the position, our cosmic position, where we are in space and time, even in the spiritual realm. So the crown chakra has yet to be developed for the next incarnation. So we have very little ways, we have very few ways, I should say, to communicate with the living. And so it is in that type of spiritual influence that we communicate with the living in our death cycle. So then we reincarnate. We evolve enough in the spiritual realm according to whatever speed we desire. Maybe it's a year. Maybe it's 100 years. Maybe it's 1,000 years. Who knows? Maybe it's not even coming back as a human being. Maybe it's not even coming back in the same bloodline. But eventually we reincarnate. We are born into a new life mission. And there you have it, basically, the cycle of birth, life, death, and reincarnation. How do you feel? Where are you with your life cycle? Are you on the path of your mission? Are you still seeking to find what is your mission? I'd like to hear in the comments below. I'm Izichi Ade. Thank you for your participation in this Divine Life program. Thank you for helping to create paradise on earth. This is the Golden Circle Movement channel. Namaste.